Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Agency Allies, the show where we sit down with the leaders shaping the future of branding, design, and advertising. Today we have on Gabi Paiva. How do you pronounce
Perfect. You did it
Paiva?
perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
The director of marketing at Digilant,
That one's harder.
Digilantic,
Digilatics. Digilatics.
Digilatics. Okay. Gabi's
There,
journey
yeah.
is pretty inspiring. In just 4 years, she went from intern to leading a 30-person team. She has a ton of internships under her belt. And I'm bringing her on the podcast. I'm really kind of interested to learn how she got to where she is today. She's a director at a really young age, and I'd love to hear just more about her day to day and where she plans to go from here. So, Gabi, thanks for coming on. You started at Digilantics as an intern,
Digilatics.
Digilatics,
Yeah,
and you're
there you go.
now director of marketing. How would you say that, like, what kind of fueled the rise so quickly?
Yeah, well, I think it's a multitude of things. There's my background. I'm from Brazil, but I've also lived in Mexico, in the US, in Spain, all for more than 4 years. So it's a very diverse background. And that always kind of sparked a curiosity in me of what makes people tick, and specifically when I was kind of choosing what I wanted to do, what makes people buy. And so that kind of led me into the path of marketing. Also, I'm very creative, so just not great at math. That's kind of like what happens, right?
You and
But
I both, yeah.
yeah, it's not great, but well, we found something that works. So, um, yeah, so then, I was going through all of these schools, international schools, meeting different people with different tastes, different cultures, all of that. Ultimately, that led me to Penn State, where I graduated from. And that was a completely different experience, right? All of the international experiences I had were definitely not in one of the Big Ten universities,
Yeah. Party
with
school, really,
frat
Penn State, yeah.
houses. Yeah, it was a lot. It was definitely the first place where I got that much cold. I actually visited it during summertime, so I didn't know what I was signing up for until
You got
classes actually started.
honey potted a little bit with the warm weather.
I really did. Yeah, I really did. I went with my parents and I was just like, "Oh, this is great.
Mm.
This is a great atmosphere." And then my first week there, we were snowed in for like 2 weeks straight. And so that started the journey for sure. But yeah, so then through Penn State, like you said, I did a multitude of internships. So there
Yeah, and
was one at Madison.
I'm counting like 5 or 6,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I was always,
Nuts.
from when I could, I was studying and doing internships, and then always summer internships as well. So I did a couple with some nonprofits that I just worked for free. I did an app that was, a startup, didn't work out. They're out of business now, so cut that one from the resume. um, but with Santander, the bank, that's a big one. Madison Square Garden is another big one. Ultimately, all of that led me to Digilatics. There's
And let's
state colleges. Yeah.
what was your, like, strategy in, like, getting these internships? Like, were you kind of connected through people that you know, or did you just kinda cold email them? What was your strat?
Yeah. So it was Penn State has a great internship program. So they would, the head of placing students in internships would just email us like 3 or 4 times a week with opportunities. And I would just apply to all of them because they were all within the communications realm. And at that point, I was trying to figure out specifically what I wanted to do. So I just tried it all.
Mm.
Yeah. I
What do you
just,
think, like, kind of set your resume apart? I mean, certainly it was like a waterfall effect where it's like you had one internship and then you had 3 internships. And so I bet you nobody else had that many internships.
Yeah, it was a lot. I think also just like grades were pretty good, and the international experience, right? Like having 3 languages fluent and just having that experience with so many different places, and that background really helped. Yeah, I think it was that. I feel like a very personable person. So on interviews, that's kind of what closes the deal, I guess.
That makes sense. And so after
Yeah.
the internships, how did you land this social media strategist position at Digilantic?
Yeah. Digilatics. You're almost
Digital,
there.
digital. I don't even get it. I'm so close. I feel it.
Okay, I'll tell you the hack for knowing the name is
Yeah.
digital and analytics. So
Uh,
Digilatics, you know?
Digilatics.
There you go. Yeah, I know. I told Karam Shazad, he's the founder of the company. I was like, for a marketing agency, you'd think an easier name would
Uh-huh.
have come to mind. Yeah. But anyway, so State College is a very small town. There's the university and then like 10,000 people, and that's it. So it's rare to have big companies there. There's like one or two. And Digilatics opened when a year before I applied for the internship. They had like two or three interns before me. And I just got the email. I applied and he invited me in for an interview, but I was in New York doing my Madison Square Garden internship. And so I told him I couldn't go, but I'd be happy to meet when I'm back. So then I went into the office. I met Karam. It was at that point just Karam. So it was just him. He was handling 4 to 5 clients by himself. And I started doing social media. And very quickly, with as startups do, there was opportunity to do more and more and more, work more hours and be more involved, you know? And so I always took those opportunities. Very quickly, after 2 or 3 months, I was handling a client, just me. Obviously, I would talk to Karam for any questions or anything like that, but it was mainly me with that client. I remember like the first mistake I did, it was just me and him in a room, right? And we would just strategize and talk about things. And
Yeah.
very quickly, I think maybe 6 months in, I went to a conference with him and I met all the clients in person. And the team started growing and the client base started growing. So we had 4 clients then. Now we have almost 60. And we had me as the only employee. And now we have over 40. I need to update that LinkedIn, but
Yeah.
over 40 now. And it's great. I mean, I think what Crom had built when I joined was the seed of something that would very much disrupt the industry. We work with mainly home service companies. So, yeah, I mean, we have solutions that I don't think they've ever seen before. So, it's definitely we've been able to grow and help our clients grow as we do that.
Love to hear, and we'll kind of come back to your personal kind of career goals and growth. I'd love to hear more about the agency and what those kind of unique tools are. I know that
Yeah.
I've looked at the analytics behind like who works at the agency, and there's like 30 people in Pakistan, and that's
Yeah. Yeah, so my boss, Karam, he's actually from Pakistan. So he knows all these people. He had a company there before. And so it was very easy for him to set up, the office there in person. They all work in person. They work in Eastern timing. They're very high level, very technical, very smart individuals. I love working with them. So, yeah, the majority of them are in Pakistan. There are 4 more in the US, which is mainly client facing. But the team does do client facing roles as well. But it's insane because we're able to get super high end labor and we're able to provide them with a great, package, which is still below what we would get in the US.
totally.
And so that makes the business model amazing. But in terms of the solutions that we bring to our client, we obviously generate leads, right? We're a marketing agency. We do paid ads, SEO, meta ads, social media, all the good stuff. But the differentiator is we follow the lead from the moment they fall into our clients' laps to the moment they convert. So from the click to the conversion, we follow them throughout the funnel. And then what we do is we point out inefficiencies in that funnel for our clients to fix so that they can increase their conversion rate without spending more or spend more smarter, right? What platform is converting the best? Um, what's getting you the best return on ad spend? That's on the digital side, but also who's your best closer? What are they not saying that they could say to close that deal?
So you're
And so
also integrated into the sales process.
Totally. Yeah, we transcribe, we record every call. We use AI as well as humans to listen to those. And then we turn that into actionable reports that they can very easily look at, and it matches their books too. So we're able to track even offline things. So if somebody wants to track how a flyer does, and that's not necessarily what we do, we can track it for them and then give them the analytics of that.
As far as this, like, I mean, sounds really cool. As far as this sales kind of call analyzing, are we using like proprietary software? Is it ChatGPT or like what are we doing?
Yeah. So obviously 4 years ago, it started with people, right? They were just listening to the calls and then saying who the sales representative was and all these things. With everything AI that's been happening, as well as our growth, we've been able to kind of do more for our clients. So, for example, we work very heavily in the home inspection industry. In that industry, we were just able to launch an integration with the most widely used scheduling software on the home inspection side. So, everything now for people who use that software and are our clients, it communicates back to each other. So, as soon as our software is able to gather like one lead, that value of that booking goes back to our software. So we don't need to do anything. They know how much that lead was worth for them. And if they quoted, that also goes through. And if they didn't close, now they know they didn't close that. And then they can go in and listen to it. But now we're integrating AI. We still have humans, obviously, just to, spot check and make sure that it's all accurate data. Yeah, there's a whole team.
And like
They do it all.
what is managing that team like? You know, I think I read you have 6 reports under you.
Yeah.
Are they in Pakistan or are they in the States?
So there's 2 in the States. One is sales, and then the other one is customer success. And then the rest are in Pakistan. So that would be paid ads, social media, SEO, and automation.
Sales for your agency, like getting new clients?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's for us. No, 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 go ahead.
Well,
We'll get back to it.
we like to talk a lot about sales on the podcast because a lot of these agencies are kinda caught in this, like, referral trap where they
Yeah.
really only get business from just, like, previous work, and then you just have all these people who shift jobs, and then they hire new agencies, and it's just like, we're kind of all looking for necessarily, like, the silver bullet. How has you went from 2 to, I think, 60 clients, you said? How is what's your sales process? What's your strat? What's your outlook?
Yeah. So Karam, the founder, he's very much relationship driven. So that's how it always starts, right? The referrals comes from relationships and just knowing people and doing amazing work so they tell their friends. But that only gets you so far. And there's a limited net that you can get to when it comes to that, especially in such a fragmented industry that we work in, which is home services. It's a lot of like one man shops and all these things, which is great, but our pricing and our services aren't necessarily geared towards one man shops. We're looking at more three or more, um, at least. So yeah, I mean, totally. It's been referrals from the start. And then we went into conferences. Conferences has been great for us. We're very niche. So going into a conference and having a booth and just talking to people, making connections, even if we don't know anyone in that industry, we've been able to get people just from being there and just like showing face. But recently, we've developed our sales pipeline, right? To have something that was consistent. Conferences happen like 4 times a year and we need clients all the time. So obviously we still go to conferences. Crom's actually at a conference right now. I was at a conference 2 weeks ago, but that's limited. A lot of it is people who are already our clients. So then it becomes kind of a relationship management type of tool. But for gathering clients for us, we've done it all. We've tried it all. We've done email marketing, that's been good, but really the start has been meta ads and just, doing very, very intentional targeting, lookalike audiences, all these different things.
Tell me
I
about
mean, we're
that.
looking
It sounds like you're attributing a lot of the success to targeted. Tell me about, like, how you target.
yeah. Yeah, it started off with we have our list of clients and it's very niche, like I said. So just creating lookalike audiences from that, creating awareness and then having a structured campaign where they go from knowing who we are to hearing what their peers say about us to then actually trying to convert them. So taking the slow game with a fragmented industry like home services, they need a lot of simmering before they convert. So
What do you mean? So,
just
like,
taking
just kind of letting them kind of like decide for themselves, like no pressure.
but also like seeing that we've done it before. I've noticed that in this industry, it's a lot of like they want to work with someone who understands their average ticket price, what their break even point is. They want someone who's not going to make a mistake that a large agency would make. So I'll give you a very tangible example. For home inspections, which is the majority of our client base, one mistake that agencies commonly make is that they'll add in, for example, Google ads, if they're doing CPC, they'll add building inspections as a keyword. But building inspections are code inspections. They can only be done by code entities, so like government agencies. And so they would be spending hundreds of dollars for getting these calls of like, my landlord doesn't want to test if I have mold in my apartment, but that's not for home inspections.
Yeah.
So that's something that only someone who's been working in the industry for over 4 years would know to add as a negative keyword. But just that, like having that kind of industry know how
Mm,
is really what they need. And then obviously hearing from the big players, right? If they are competing with someone, although they hate working with us because we work with their competitors, they
mm,
know that their competitor is winning because of us. So it's kind of that game of loyalty and building that trust. But then I've never seen a retention rate like the one we have. So they do become loyal after
yeah.
they've seen the results. We have over 90% retention rate, which is
Great.
unheard of for agencies, right?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes working at an agency, you just really don't have control into your clients. Like, you don't have control on the economy. You don't have control about people's jobs and whatnot.
Yeah.
What is so? It sounds like to recap, it sounds like meta ads are working for you. It sounds like targeting is really working for you, making sure that the audience is like your current clients. And then you wrap that strategy up with like creating, I don't want to call it social proof because it's not social, but just like proof that you've worked in
Yeah.
this industry. I've been curious about this. I really work on like the brand strategy side. I'd like to personal goal, like I'd like to learn more about like the marketing side. Is
Mhm.
there a way to, let's say you are there's different like triggers that happen with the home service. Like maybe is there a way to like target them based on maybe them having a campaign with like low effectiveness, or maybe they have a new CMO or something like I know the CMO we
Mhm.
can target for that one, but is there any more like kind of lucrative ways of like targeting people timely?
Yeah. So, there's a couple of things. Obviously, we can run audits through SEMrush. They have this thing where you just paste their website there and we can see what they're running. We can see like what their landing page looks like. And then we can just call them instead of trying to sell. We try to help them improve. I've noticed that home services, they respond really well to not selling and giving, and then they come and ask to buy. They prefer to ask to buy than to be sold to, if that makes sense.
Oh, that's everyone, I
So,
think. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So, for example, we have people who make cold calls, right? But they know that they need to give them something. They need to say, like, hey, I noticed you haven't responded to your Google business profile reviews in the last 3 months. It's really going to help you rank and it's so easy and free. And they're like, wow, thank you so much. Tell me more about what you do, you know?
totally.
But one thing that we found that actually was surprising for this niche specifically is Facebook groups. They love their Facebook. Oh my God. They post all the memes. They fight on Facebook. It's
These businesses
all the
do?
tea. Yeah.
Oh my god, these
Yeah,
boomers, they love their Facebook.
They really do, and, like, it's so funny because what they post is so funny, and then I see them at the conference, and I can, like,
Oh,
connect
no
back
way.
through that.
That's cool.
But the really cool thing is, like, we have our SDRs, and they've created, like, we have our Facebook profiles, and they go in and they start answering them. So, like, they'll answer any marketing questions they have, and they'll DM them and be like, "Hey, I know you posted that. Look what we are doing here. Let's talk." And that's been the most lucrative because it's free. The only problem is that Facebook kind of can tell that you're doing it, so it needs to be very intentional. You can't really, like, copy and paste the messages. You need to actually spend time, so although it's very timely, it's free.
Yeah. What challenges are you facing in your role?
Yeah, I mean, definitely managing from afar is a big one. I'm currently in Brazil, so I manage the team in Pakistan from afar as well as the team in the US from afar. Also, my boss is afar too, so I'm being managed from afar. So just like making sure everything is clear. Obviously, there's, especially when people are in person, there's office politics, there's things that happen in the background that I don't necessarily have visibility of. So just being very cautious and making decisions or coming to conclusions when it comes to people who report to me, that's very important. But I think also this is probably like growing pains from every company ever, but scaling, right? Like you built something when it was just Karam and these two companies, it was built perfectly, right? And then I come in and then we expand to 10 companies and it's perfect, no issues. But then when you add, you know, 50 people, that's where things get a little bit
Way.
messy. Like
Yeah.
when you're creating something, you're not thinking, oh, let me write this down as a process so that when we have 50 employees, this can live on. So it's been a lot of like stop, reflect, redo, continue.
What's been helpful in that kind of that tension of scaling? How have you kind of been, I'm hearing that you kind of stop, you reflect. Is there anything else that has really helped you gain control over the situations?
Yeah, I mean, I think finding those right people. It's hard to trust people, especially in a corporate world. You have so many things going on and people can just leave, right? They're there for themselves and that's totally fair. But having people you can trust in the right places, I think is key. Especially from managing from afar, right? I have people that I know want the best for the company and that's what I want. So I can just call them and they'll tell me how it is. So just having people you can trust and actually really being careful when choosing those people because it's hard. But then also outside coaches. That's one thing that we've started investing on probably a year and a half ago. Having people who've done this before tell us, hey, don't do this. This is not going to work. That saves time. Also, being young, right? Like, obviously, I mean, I have all the internships, but I don't have the experience being a director before, for example. So, having someone that I can just, talk to about how to deal with a certain situation and that I trust is super helpful.
Where are these coaches coming from? Do you pay them or what's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
do they have skin in the
So,
game, company, equity or something?
no, nothing. We just pay them hourly and they're people. So there's a couple. I work with one specifically. Her name's Asha. She's amazing. But yeah, so
Awesome.
I mean she's yeah, she's Asha's awesome. um but she works as a coach for some of our clients. So that's kind of how we got connected. But she's really a business coach. It's not about marketing and it's not about home services. It's about building a strong business with a strong foundation and being a good leader and modeling behavior, things like that. So
Tell her
there's
we'd
her. And then,
I'd love to
yeah.
hear, and I'm gonna let you finish, but I'd love to hear, like, maybe some of the things that you've really learned from her.
Oh my God, there's so many. I mean, I think, first of all, you'd be surprised how much not only my age, but also being a woman has come into play
I can
with
imagine, yeah.
this industry. Um, it's been a lot of difficult things that I didn't know I would deal with. Think I'm someone who I don't really know, that this is gonna be a thing until it happens, and I'm notorious people pleaser. So it's been really hard to set boundaries when those sort of things happen. So on that side, she's helped a lot. just empowering me to, fire clients if they need to be fired and just not doing it all. But even bigger than that, because she does coach a lot of our team members, including our CEO. So she's a jack of all trades, really making sure that when I'm not overworked, I'm not burning out. I think it's very easy, especially when you're in a position where you're either the founder or the number two, to kind of take so much responsibility and wanting things to be perfect and then just doing it yourself instead of delegating and
Yeah.
accepting,
We all know that
what's
feeling
good
for sure.
enough. Yeah, I think that's definitely hard for me, especially if I know that it'll be done quicker if I just do it myself. But she's really helped me with that, protecting my time. Time blocking has been a huge thing. But also aligning what I'm doing now to where I wanna be in 10 years, right? Obviously, like I said, everyone works for a bigger purpose. We're not here doing charity. I have my goals. I have where I wanna be in 10 years, and 5 years, and 3 years, and I need to do things today to make sure that I get there.
Where does Gabby wanna be in 10 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think, one thing that's always a hard question to answer, and that's what I talk to Asha about, but, um it's really hard because it's not necessarily doing a certain job or being at a certain position. It's definitely more for me about freedom, about just like being able to work from anywhere and just not being worried about, where I am and where work is and all these things, and just being able to be free. And I think everyone at the end of the day, if you dig hard enough or deep enough, you'll find that your why is to be free, and that can look different from different people, right? Some people think financially free. Some people think, traveling the world or just not having to work from 9 to 5, all these things, freedom looks different for different people. But I think, yeah, always striving to be free. I don't think I'll ever be. I think that's a continuous thing that goes on, but freedom.
Yeah, I think that resonates with a lot of people and certainly myself, just trying to find that work balance equation. Gears, talking about kind of like, you've not been in the game for too long, but you are pretty deep. And it sounds like you have like a lot of tools in your repertoire. It sounds like, you're kind of on this management journey, learning how to kind of culturally and just stick up for yourself and whatnot. But I'd love to hear more about like the tools that you're using, the trends that you're seeing. I think everybody and myself knows that marketing is just a constantly evolving landscape, and everybody's marketing on YouTube. Now everybody's marketing on Meta. Now everyone's doing this. AI email marketing was working and now it's not working. And now, so what is working and what's not working right now?
Yeah, I think one thing that always shocks people when I say that it works is Bing.
Is what?
You know, Bing,
Bing. Okay.
yeah,
Bing ads?
Bing,
Yeah.
Bing ads, yeah, and they've been
Who
working.
who uses Bing? What is the
I
demographic
know.
there? Is it like foreign? Is it like low
No,
income, high income? Who's on there?
it's usually people who don't wanna price shop. They're gonna call the first one and they're gonna book regardless of the price.
Okay.
It's usually older people who don't know that they're using Bing, so me and Chrome yeah, me and Chrome,
Yeah.
we go to conferences and we speak a lot at conferences. So one of the times we were speaking and we were talking about Bing, and it's just so funny because people always have that reaction. They're like, "What? Bing? Does that even
Yeah.
still exist?"
Why
And
would you
then I'm
use Bing? But it totally makes sense that the people who are susceptible on Bing, and not susceptible, but the people using Bing just don't know that they're using it.
no, they don't know. They just bought the computer and Bing is just installed.
That's so
It's the
funny.
default browser. So a lot of times we're like Bing, and the person like grabs their phone. They're like, who uses Bing? And I look at their phone and I'm like, you
Yeah,
use Bing. You're using Bing right now.
that's so funny.
Um,
To define older, are we talking like 50s and above? Like what?
yeah,
How?
mainly 50s
Okay.
and above.
Yeah, my parents for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
everybody's
you got to
parents.
check their phone.
Yeah,
See if they're using Bing because
and are
they
these?
probably
I mean,
are.
these are Android users, right?
Yeah, exactly. They're Android. They only use Bing. They just don't know it.
Who owns Bing? Does
Crazy.
Google own Bing? Google owns Chrome,
Microsoft.
Microsoft.
Yeah.
So if you're using an Android phone, is Bing the automatic
Yeah.
browser or is it
Yep.
okay? But if you're
On
using Google
every computer
Pixel,
too. Yeah, Google Pixel would be Chrome.
Chrome, okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that's
but
fascinating.
I know. So like my parents just bought a computer last week. They only use Bing now. Also,
Wow.
they don't know they're using it, but like it just comes in the computer. Unless you're using like Apple products or Google products, it's Bing. You're using Bing.
Yeah, it looks like I haven't been on Bing forever, and I'm looking at the
And it looks nice, right? It's not too bad.
yeah, no, it looks like,
No.
oh,
And
and it
you know
looks
what?
exactly like Google, so you wouldn't even know.
Yeah,
The Bing
you
logo
wouldn't
is, like,
know.
this big.
Yep, they know what they're
Yeah.
doing. And I mean, they have Copilot, they have all the things. And it's crazy because nobody's doing ads on Bing. So the cost per click is like absurdly low.
How
The
is
conversions
it
are higher.
in terms of, like, pricing, how is it kind of compared percentage-wise, like, or ratios? Is it, like, half off of Google? Is it, like, 30%?
I think even more. I mean, obviously it depends on the keyword, but it's even
Yeah,
more. Everyone who we run Bing ads for it, if they let us,
yeah. If you can
they're
convince
getting
them,
like
yeah.
yeah, they're using, like, X return on ad spend with, like, a $300 budget. It's crazy. In Google, if you wanna get that much return on ad spend, you gotta spend, like, at least $5,000 or else you'll get a return, it just won't be that high because you're competing so much.
Interest.
With Bing, nobody's there. It's crazy. It's insane. I know.
So Bing's in,
Bing's
what
it's hard. I mean, well, for home services, Meta ads aren't that great.
yeah,
They're a lot better for awareness, but for conversion, it's harder. I mean, if you're doing B2B like we are, it works really well. But if you're doing B2C, usually it's not the best.
Meta
But yeah.
ads.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
Facebook, Instagram, all that. Google Ads is always strong. They know what they're doing for sure.
right.
But on both Bing and Google Ads, they have very similar models of, like, cost per click. The campaign structure is very similar. Even the dashboard kinda looks similar, and both of them now have AI placements for your ads. So that's something that's working really, really well. They use Performance Max campaigns on Google. So you'll just, like, 5 different headlines and descriptions, and they choose where to put it based on the results. So if they're getting clicks here, they'll keep it here. If not, they'll change it somewhere else. They are even putting it automatically on YouTube. So AI, you put in a bunch of images, your logo and all. AI creates an automated video for your company with like a voiceover and they put it on YouTube ads.
Oh my gosh. Is it like is it working though? Like I'm always kind
Yeah.
of a little bit like I've tried to make ads with AI and I'm just like this just seems like shit. I don't know. But it
Yeah,
really
I feel.
depends like what, you know, depends on a lot of
I mean,
factors.
it works.
Yeah.
It works. You can't not do the data. I mean, especially with the bigger budgets, right? We have some clients that are spending like 100,000 a month
Mhm.
on ads. And so they're making 1,000,000 a month in return, you know?
Yeah. So we got Bing and we got different kind of AI customizations for ads, AI placements.
Yeah. Yeah. Even another one I can think of is Yelp ads.
Is what?
That's Yelp
Okay,
ads.
Yelp. Yeah, Yelp
Yeah.
ads. Okay, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
So some people hate Yelp ads because people leave nasty reviews on Yelp.
Mhm.
And so if you have a company and you put your company on Yelp, you've probably gotten a nasty review. And then you're turned off to Yelp forever. You're just like, I'll just delete my profile and never deal with this again. But Yelp actually developed something that was really cool recently. They have Casey AI, which is their AI that automatically responds to inquiries. So you see a Yelp ad and you click like get a quote. They have a bot that knows all your pricing and everything and they respond to it immediately. So it's that instant customer experience of like, oh my
It's like a
God,
SDR.
let me bring it up. Almost. I mean, it's just it's almost like you're talking to ChatGPT, but within Yelp and it's trying to sell you.
Yeah, an AI SDR.
Yeah. And then if you can't, if you can't answer, then you lose it, but it'll ping you like, "Hey, I'm talking to someone, come check."
What is the pricing like on I gotta turn off my ad blocker on Yelp. I'm looking at is it okay, so there's the sponsored options. I mean, do people really on Yelp, like, if I click like, right now, I need to find a new barber because my barber raised prices, so I type in haircut into the Boulder, Colorado area for barbers, and then there's 3 things that say, like, sponsored, and do people actually, like, click them? Like, what's the
Yeah.
yeah.
They do. I mean, I definitely feel like younger generations are skipping the sponsored and just going to the number one in organic, right? I think we have this idea of like, if it's up and it's not sponsored, then it's probably good. I mean, that's why it's so important to sign up for SEO services along with your paid ads because there's all different types of people. But we've found that people who are older, they don't even know they're clicking on sponsored.
Mm.
You've probably seen local service ads. Look up on Google, just like plumbing. You'll see on top if
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
right, the local service, Google guarantee, they call it. They have like the little check marks.
Maybe. I've run my ad blocker for so long that I just kind of, like, don't
The ads are scared of you.
yeah. But, I mean, what about, like, Google reviews? Have you kind of given that any weight?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we don't deal with that just because it gets tricky, so we just give our clients what they can do. Definitely, I mean, right now we're diving all into ranking on AI, right? That's kind of the new update everywhere. And it's about how to rank on AI. So if I ask ChatGPT, what's the best home inspection company in Boulder, Colorado,
Mm,
it should say my client, right?
yeah.
And so one of the big things, I mean, responding to Google reviews is always important because of reputation, but for AI, it's also very important. AI is looking at different things when it comes to ranking you, but one of the things is your local presence. And the more you respond, the more you interact with people on your Google reviews, the higher Google automatically ranks you.
Interesting.
Google loves people who love Google and who use Google. So just like being on there, being present, posting. I don't even know if you know, but like for Google business profiles, you can post posts. You know what I mean? Like you can post like a Facebook post. Like um you'd never see it. I'm sure nobody ever clicks it, but
Yeah.
it's there. It's there. And that's how it's only for Google. It's like a little ego boost for Google for it to see that you're taking the time to post on it 3 times a week. It's
Right.
like social media.
Oh, I'm kind of okay,
Do
yeah,
you
I
see
see
it?
yeah, can't I have a plumbing company that I'm looking at, and they're just you click on the right side, there's all these, like, they're like blog posts almost,
Yep, exactly.
and
Nobody knows that, right?
nobody's
Nobody
doing
clicks that.
yeah, but
It's just like technical.
you're saying that AI is picking it up and, like, building credibility through these posts.
Yeah, both AI and Google. I mean, Google's definitely pushing you up every time you post, but AI is also. And on that AI tangent, a big thing that we're doing now is semantic SEO. So that's when before, right? Like before AI, when your ranking would only be based on how many keywords you have on your website, you would just keyword stuff, right? It would be like, yeah, the best plumber in Colorado is the best plumber in Colorado, and
Yeah.
they do the best plumbing in Colorado,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah, yeah.
But now the search engines are smarter than us, so it's different. It's about how you phrase it. So you need to phrase it in a way that answers a question. So if your question is, who is the best plumbing company in Colorado? Then a plumbing company's blog should say, we are the best plumbing company in Colorado because we do this, this, and our competitors don't.
So you're almost anticipating the question that's being asked, and you're kind of writing it solely to answer that question, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And then also having information that is nowhere else on the internet is super important. So just being like a thought leader, if you're going to write the 100th blog about what plumbing covers, then you're not going to rank because you're writing it 50 years late. But if
So you
you're
could
writing a
say
blog
yeah,
about,
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, no, if you're writing a blog about like the dangers of not getting your plumbing fixed as soon as you find out, that might be something that's not necessarily out there. Right.
Maybe like
So
we
that
are the best plumbers because we have this type of certification and we use only brass fittings instead of plastic ones that are won't kind of
exactly.
deteriorate over the year or something. Okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
like plugging in your own SOPs in the middle of it, and then you can just compare yourself.
And semantic ranking is for AI or for Google SEO?
So semantic is like a way to structure your content in a way that's super crawlable for AI. So that's
Okay,
gonna
for
get
it's
you
for
ranked
AI,
on
yeah.
AI.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I mean, what ranks you on AI ranks you on Google because it's all the same.
Mm,
So but it's crazy because not a lot of agencies are actually putting time into that. They're still doing the old how to rank things.
yeah.
So there's a lot of opportunity. I mean, we started with a company a month ago, and it was 1 month from implementation of the content changes that we made on their website, and they're ranking on all the AI platforms for 15 different prompts. It's crazy.
How are you
There's not a lot.
measuring what tool are you using to measure their effectiveness on AI tools?
Yeah, that's the part that's a little bit harder. I mean, you can use Google Analytics and kind of attribute a click to that as a source,
Hmm.
but really the way we kind
Hold up,
of
let's
show
unpack
it to
that. So, we have Google Analytics open. We see that a lot of incoming traffic is from ChatGPT or something, but we don't
yeah,
get to know what type of prompt they used, right? Or do we?
no,
Yeah,
you'll just see the clicks or the click-through rate or all those different metrics that they give you. But yeah, it'll show up as a source.
interesting. And sorry, continue what you're saying.
Yeah, so the only way we kind of report that to our clients now in a way that they can easily understand it is by manually prompting ChatGPT and then taking a screenshot and sending it to them. So it's like the report looks like 40 different screenshots of ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini, all these different ones.
And you know that ChatGPT is just kinda gatekeeping that information and probably will sell it to us down the line,
But yeah.
or make it kind of only available at higher kind of premiums. So where this is kind of just wrapping up, but I'd love to learn where where are you getting all this information? Like, there's so much out there, and a lot of it can be learned by doing, but a lot of it is, especially just kind of earlier in your career, where are you picking up all these, like, is there a newsletter or like a guru, or
Yeah.
how are you picking all this up?
Honestly, it's by doing. I mean, we are so fortunate to have so many smart partners with us, people that push us, and they're not gonna leave us for a bigger agency that's doing something, right? They're gonna say, hey, this agency is doing this. You guys need to figure it out. And we just need to figure it out. So it's really about doing. I mean, it's crazy to me how much of a nerd I sounded like during this podcast.
No, this is what you're in a safe space. You're actually in an elevated safe space because we're the people who are actually interested in all this stuff.
Yeah.
This is what we
Yeah.
want to do.
I
It would
mean,
be
thank
worse
God.
if you were just like, I don't know, just fucking pay for the ads and just hope it works out. Like,
Yeah, no, true. I mean, you'd be shocked by how much, like, simpler this content needs to go when we're speaking at conferences full of, like, plumbers,
right, yeah.
right? How do you explain everything that just came out of my mouth
So
to
with
a
the
plumber?
bottom, I think just like bottom ROI, like
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna
insane.
10x your money with some fucking Bing ads. And
They're gonna
wait,
spit in
so
my face.
how did you learn about this Bing thing? Like, what, tell
By
me,
doing. It was by
are you
doing. It
telling me
was
you
just
randomly just shot your shot at Bing and you were like, "Holy fuck."
yeah, literally, swear it's been like these partners that we have, they're amazing. They give us budget to play around with, right? They're like, here's like $5,000, go put it in Zillow and realtor.com or like all these different places that you wouldn't think to place an ad. And let's just see if it sticks, you know? Like one of our clients just gave us some budget to like try CCTV ads, like the ones on Tubi TV or like those ads that are on your Amazon Prime subscription, even though you already pay for it. That's us now, apparently. We'll see if it works, but it's just amazing that we have people who trust us to the point where they're kind of in this journey with us. They want to win, right? We're doing things with them that nobody in the home service industry has done before. And for that, we need to experiment, we need to play. And that's what makes it fun, thank God.
Yeah. I guess before I let you go, and this is just kind of like my own shtick. Like, I took a marketing class in my MBA program in digital marketing, and I really enjoyed it. And shout out Emily Edwards. She taught us to like how you really want to start a campaign is you really want to invest a little bit into like a lot of different channels and just to kind of
Mhm.
see what works and A/B test and figure out like, okay, if Zillow's working and I'm giving them $200, I'm giving Bing $200 and Zillow's working twice as much, we're going to drop Bing and we're going to
Yeah.
pull it into. And is that how most of your campaigns kind of start where you're like, in a context where you're like, maybe it's a new client in a new industry and you're like, "I don't know how it's gonna work. I know that, like, Bing
Mhm.
works for this type of client, but I don't know if it'll work for this." Is that kinda your strategy of spreading?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely take like a partner approach when we're talking to clients. We started working with like a lawyer's conglomerate,
Yeah,
because of a relationship that our founder did. And I told you we're very into home services, which is not lawyers. But we just approach it like, hey, we've never done this before, transparently. We'd love to try. And we'll do it for free for you for the next 6 months. If it works, you can just stay. They're with us till today. It's been a year.
6 months, huh? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we get we win with it too, right? Now we can go to another lawyer firm and be like, "Hey, look at all these things we did." And it depends. It depends if we know a little bit or not at all. But it's definitely we play around with the big players, people who have that 100K budget a month on just like ads. We play around with that and then we give it to the smaller guys that need jobs now, right? Like they're working every day so that they can put food on the table. The people who have 100K as a budget, they can take a little bit of,
Risk.
not have that much, yeah, a little bit of risk. Sure.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll put 100K on Bing and just,
Yeah.
put it all on
Do
Reddit
that.
and just
You'll get
10X
all
it.
the baby boomers.
Yeah. Wow, that's one of the most interesting things I ever heard. Well, thanks so much, Gabby.
Yeah.
I love having you on the podcast. I know we were kind of going to talk more about your career, but I think given your expertise and just like your Swiss Army knowledge of just, I think that was a better route to take. So I really appreciate you coming on the podcast, and I wish you the best in your career. And I'm looking forward to seeing your LinkedIn in about 10 years and seeing what happens.
Yeah, thank you so much, Adam. It was amazing. I honestly didn't know what to expect. I did watch the videos and they looked so cool.
Thank you.
You're really good at asking questions, which means you're in the right space. But yeah, no, it's so much fun. Let's definitely stay connected. And yeah, I mean, we can maybe do it again in a year or so and see what changed, see if Bing's still all that hype.
I hope so. Yeah. All right, we'll take it
I mean,
easy and,
yeah,
uh, yeah, thanks so much.
yeah.